King Charles and Prince Harry have reunited for the first time in over a year and a half, Buckingham Palace has confirmed. The estranged father and son last met in February 2024, shortly after the monarch began cancer treatment. Today, the pair shared a private tea at Clarence House in London, a meeting that lasted just under an hour. While the details of their conversation remain private, the reunion follows months of small gestures suggesting a willingness on both sides to start repairing bonds. Earlier this summer, aides from Prince Harry's team were spotted meeting with the King's Communications Secretary, and the Duke reportedly offered to share his diary dates with the royal family to avoid clashes, a sign of outreach from the Sussex camp. King Charles flew from Aberdeen to London's RAF Northolt before being driven to Clarence House, while Prince Harry arrived in a black Range Rover. Ahead of the meeting, the royal standard was raised at Buckingham Palace, signalling the monarch was in the capital. Meanwhile, Prince William was in Cardiff launching a new mental health centre funded by his royal foundation. The two brothers are not believed to be speaking at the moment, and it's unlikely they will meet during Harry's short time in the UK. Earlier in the day, Prince Harry visited Imperial College London's Centre for Injury Studies to learn about recent work on treating injuries suffered by children and those in natural disasters. The Duke's office confirmed he and Meghan Markle will donate nearly £370,000 to support injured children in Gaza and Ukraine through the WHO, helping with evacuations and prosthetics development. This highly anticipated reunion, while brief, marks a potentially important step in rebuilding the relationship between father and son, though whether it will extend to reconciliation with Prince William remains uncertain. GB News' royal correspondent Cameron Walker has been outside Buckingham Palace reporting as it happened.
Well, Martin, in the last few moments, we have spotted Prince Harry's Range Rover drive into the grounds of Clarence House, which is confirmation that there is indeed an imminent meeting between King Charles and his youngest son, Prince Harry. Of course, ever since we found out that Prince Harry was coming to the United Kingdom, there has been so much speculation as to whether or not there would be a meeting between these two individuals, because the last time they actually met was back in February of 2024 in person, following King Charles's cancer diagnosis. Since then, they have not met in person, but as we speak, Prince Harry is entering Clarence House to speak to his father, King Charles. Of course, King Charles was in Balmoral earlier this morning. He flew back via RAF Northolt this afternoon and then was driven back to Clarence House. He took part in an investiture, and then there was some speculation because we knew there was a gap in Prince Harry's diary and the King's diary, and we have just spotted his car drive into Clarence House. So it's going to be a very short meeting, we think, because we know that Prince Harry has another engagement this evening in London to do with the Invictus Games, but this does certainly suggest that there is some kind of reconciliation on the cards, because the King and his youngest son are indeed meeting this evening.
Well, Cameron Walker, well done for being eagle-eyed there and spotting that entrance. And hallelujah, Harry at long last has done the right thing. Gone to see his old man. We're all human at heart. Cameron Walker, superb breaking news. Thanks for bringing it to us here on GB News.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living, and maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is TallyMoney?
Well, Bev, with TallyMoney, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade. And in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at TallyMoney. Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind the more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver, and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
Welcome back. Got some huge breaking royal news for you now. And it's this: a car carrying Prince Harry has arrived at Clarence House in London. Let's cross live now to GB News' royal correspondent Cameron Walker, who has that breaking news story for us. Cameron, it's raining cats and dogs, but it's all the sunshine is coming out for the royals.
Yeah, it certainly is, Martin, and it wasn't raining when Prince Harry arrived, and believe me, he is nice and dry inside Clarence. Journalists stood outside the gate, but yes, we have in the last 20 minutes spotted drive down the Mall here. Then they turned left round the back of St James's Palace and onto Cleveland Row, which is the back entrance of Clarence House, essentially the staff entrance and the visitor entrance. And Prince Harry's Range Rover was driven through the gates and obviously went into the grounds, meaning that as we speak, a meeting between King Charles and his youngest son, Prince Harry, is taking place. The first time since February of 2024, which of course was when King Charles when King Charles announced that he had a cancer diagnosis. And since then, they haven't really seen each other at all. There was a lot of speculation because, of course, Prince Harry was announced that he was coming back to the United Kingdom, and we thought, well, King Charles is there going to be? But logistically, it wasn't going to be possible because King Charles has been in Scotland for the last couple of weeks. But he flew back down this afternoon and came back to Clarence House. He had one engagement to take part in an investiture, but then his diary was empty, and so was Prince Harry's until this evening. So it's a very small window, Martin. We're expecting it to be a very short meeting because we know that Prince Harry has to go off to another engagement with the Invictus Games later on tonight, which means it is going to be a relatively short meeting, which is very similar to last time. We thought, is the meeting going to take place at all? Because of course King Charles has to trust his son not to leak any of the private details which are taking part in this meeting. But to be honest, Martin, it is probably quite good news because it means there is some kind of reconciliation on the cards.
Yeah, hallelujah for the royal reunion that we all wanted. Cameron Walker, hang on to your umbrella there. Superb breaking news. Thank you very much. Now back to the studio for the...
At GB News, we believe in the power of free speech. We're not afraid to ask the tough questions, challenge the status quo, and give you a voice. While others silence dissent, we champion the truth. By becoming a GB News member, you're not just supporting free speech, you're defending it. Please consider supporting us today. Together, we'll hold the powerful to account and make sure that your voice is always heard. Simply go to gbnews.com/support and stand with us for what matters most.